until it's over and dead. And I'll be damned if I ever let you get me again. Yeah, I was stopping nothing, cause I was made to rise above it all. Cause one of these days, everyone will know. But for now I stand alone. I count my enemies as trophies. I wear my scars so they can show me. Now I got nothing left to prove. So when I look at you, all I see are trophies, trophies. I'm not afraid to put it all on the line like it runs in my veins. I was stopping nothing, cause I was made to rise above it. Yeah, I was made to rise above it. I was stopping nothing, cause I was made to rise above it. I've been patiently waiting, tying my stomach's a knot. I've been lost in the moment, going to war with my thoughts. And if you're feeling the pressure's all that I got. So if you think that you're ready, I'm here to tell you you're not. The time is right now, yeah, you're in over your head. I'm calling lights out until it's over and dead. And I'll be damned if I ever let you get me again. Yeah, I was stopping nothing, cause I was made to rise above it all. Cause one of these days, everyone will know. But for now I stand alone. I count my enemies as trophies. I wear my scars so they can show me. Now I got nothing left to prove. So when I look at you, all I see are trophies, trophies. I'm not afraid to put it all on the line like it runs in my veins. I was stopping nothing, cause I was made to rise above it. Yeah, I was made to rise above it. I was stopping nothing, cause I was made to rise above it. I've been patiently waiting, tying my stomach's a knot. I've been lost in the moment, going to war with my thoughts. And if you're feeling the pressure's all that I got. So if you think that you're ready, I'm here to tell you you're not. The time is right now, yeah, you're in over your head. I'm calling lights out until it's over and dead. And I'll be damned if I ever let you get me again. Yeah, I was stopping nothing, cause I was made to rise above it all. Cause one of these days, everyone will know. But for now I stand alone. I count my enemies as trophies. I wear my scars so they can show me. Now I got nothing left to prove. So when I look at you, all I see are trophies, trophies. I'm not afraid to put it all on the line like it runs in my veins. I was stopping nothing, cause I was made to rise above it. Yeah, I was made to rise above it. I was stopping nothing, cause I was made to rise above it. I've been patiently waiting, tying my stomach's a knot. I've been lost in the moment, going to war with my thoughts. And if you're feeling the pressure's all that I got. So if you think that you're ready, I'm here to tell you you're not. The time is right now, yeah, you're in over your head. I'm calling lights out until it's over and dead. And I'll be damned if I ever let you. Assalamualaikum and welcome to Paramount Gaming Esport. Whether or not it's on Facebook or YouTube, you are here, none other than the reason to show off and figure out what is going to happen on the second season of Garena Survivor. I am your caster for tonight, or should I say, the host of the night, FasyaBunn Streaming page. If you guys have just joined in, make sure to like and share the stream and also follow the page of the Paramount Gaming Esport as well as on the YouTube side Paramount Gaming Esport, and give a like and thumbs up to my page as well, which is Fasha Bunny Streaming page. All right, here's the thing. What are we going to find out on today's live? It's all about the knowledge that we are about to find out inside the Garena Survivor Legacy, the second series that survivors that we have watched last season, and it was most enthralled with a lot of excitement as well as fighting and gameplay that was coming out from the MSP, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines. And not only that, we have two special guests to give us more input and more in-depth about what will be happening on this season, the second season of Garena Survivor. And who would it be without these two people who has been phenomenal in the community, who is the team itself. They have been really well to actually ignite as well as firing every single tournament inside our CODM as well as Garena CODM and any other event that have been doing, which is by the name of Super Clock, who is super, super hot and super, super awesome. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Nah, it is Super Clock. And the one and only who has been phenomenal inside the Garena, whether or not it is CODM or other franchises of Garena, it is the Gentleman Gaming, guys. Give it up for these two awesome, awesome casters. Hello, everybody. What's up? Hey, hey, hey! Look at how awesome that intro. I didn't realize that we were going to see a huge billboard of great, great, awesome faces of Gentleman Gaming as well as Super Club. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us for today. I know people are probably wondering, why is Super Clock here instead of Sirila? You guys are probably wondering, like, why are we not seeing the pretty face? But it's okay, guys. We're gonna serve you guys another beautiful face, which is Super Clark in the house, and he's also one of the voices of community. He has been active inside every each tournament. So let's give a round to Gentleman Gaming as well as to the Super Clark one and only. Hello, how are you guys doing? Let's start off with Gentleman. Are you guys okay? Are you
I'm
doing
doing
okay?
great. I'm really excited on what's about to happen, especially after what happened from the multiplayer side, the Garena Masters 3. I mean, there's a lot of excitement. That was the
Mm-hmm.
first LAN tournament that I've ever been to, and I'm looking forward to more. But so far, I'm looking forward as well to what will be happening in Garena Survivors, because this is yet the continuation of what we call the biggest, baddest battle royale scene in Garena Call of Duty Mobile.
I mean, I get it, man. Seriously, I was so, so jealous. I was envious. I see a lot of amazing streamers coming in together and supporting that one event, and it was a huge, huge big deal to be together again after so long, to have that offline and truly blessed. And I gotta say, a head stands up as well as salute to you, my sir, because you did a wonderful job with the team itself for casting that event. Phenomenal, right, indeed. And thank you so much for making that Garena Ambassador a wonderful event indeed. And on the other note, we also see Super Club also joining in and going into the venue and supporting the team as well as the caster. How did you feel at that time, Super Clock?
It was really crazy, actually. It was really crazy because knowing that we brought the major tournament in the Philippines, that was really a new one, a new experience to everybody else,
Mhm.
right? And there's a lot of Filipinos requesting that kind of bigger stage moment to where we already experienced it. It was really a huge one. It was really crazy.
Yep, definitely. And hopefully it will not be the last one. I'm hoping to see that the next one I'll be there. I hope to be there, Garena. Please let me be there for the next event. I want to be there. But on the other note, I we also experienced also a watch party from our end as well, from KL and from Singapore as well, from MYSG. So that's also phenomenal. We were able to get a small gathering group, not big as compared as Garena Masters, but we still able to get together, guys. And this is what it's all about. When we have a huge event, despite it has their own main event at Manila, we also support you guys from right far away, but we still be there in your hearts. I hope so. But on the other note, now let's get back to business. The Garena Survivor, phenomenal ride from the Garena Masters, but now let's focus on Battle Royale. This is what we have been looking forward to also, and people are thinking like, are we going to see another offline tournament as well? Because Garena Masters, that was pretty much focused on multiplayer. Now, here's the thing. That is something that the Garena will answer soon. But so far right now, we'll focus on the formats, the event, as well as the rules and regulation that will be put out for the Garena Survivor season number 2. And let's do a brief background about it. Let's take a look on the leaderboard day of itself, as well as the winner and the MVP recap for the Garena Survivor season number 1, whereby we talk about it already, right? Which by the first season ever, it was phenomenal for the kings of vagabonds to win that amazing job on Garena Survivor. Um, I know how amazing it was to the side of Gentleman Gaming, because he has been casting this with Mustachio for a long week, especially on those rounds itself, because they will keep on doing every single rounds for the Garena Survivor. So let's ask Gentleman Gaming, what was it like to cast for all this team from time to time, from days to days, to make sure they be the one to be the finalists as well as the champions?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, really happy to see these names from Garena Survivors, and also with a combination of not just a PH, it is a combination of PH, MYSG in one of greatest, biggest, as I mentioned earlier, biggest battle royale tournament that we have. And one thing I would like to point out as well is that we didn't only I didn't only enjoy shoutcasting this. For all you know, guys, I also enjoyed reviewing the gameplay as well as the numbers, the data behind this. Not only the scores that you're seeing right now, but anything else behind it, like the drop points and everything that they're doing, the tactics that they're doing. Apart from having talking points within the tournament, we also like to review and point out what they're doing best, so that the viewers out there will be able to do the same in their ranked games. And I think that is one thing, a key takeaway that viewers and fans can like get from Garena Survivors tournaments just like this.
Agree. Because this is a new format. We've seen it before. Last year, we have been amazed by how Garena has done the plunge, where it is divided between Malaysia, Singapore, as well as to the Philippine region side.
Hmm.
And for this year, it has grew even bigger. It's more prize pool. It's even more a lot compared to the Garena, the plunge. Even though we miss how the plunge was, but this format is to be even more suited with the two maps that we have seen, which is Blackout as well as Isolated, and to actually accommodate the FPP and TPP. And I know a lot of people and a lot of our players also have a lot of complaints about it, because they don't really like FPP, gentlemen. So what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, like perspective wise, putting it on FPP, we've mentioned that from Green Survivors, wherein a lot of teams have struggled every time they switch into FPP mode, and at some point it brings more competitiveness into the games, into the scene, and as well as change it up, because like a lot of players has been so familiar with playing TPP as well, and at least this brings a little bit more of excitement into the game.
Agree. And this is the MVP, the most amazing winner of all 3 days Garena Survivor Finals. And Vagabonds, they have been consistent. And this is something that everybody has been talking about. How could they be so consistent from day 1 to day 3 to becoming the leader of leaderboards from day 1 to day 3? Can you talk about it, gentlemen?
Right. So I think let's So we have a Vagabonds Esports. Well, you can like look and pitch in based on your observation as well, Super Clock and this. But for Vagabonds Esports, one thing that I really love about them is it's wherein they can make a lot of adjustments in their gameplay. There are several instances really that I tried, and even the other players in other teams tried to find a way to counter the attacks that they have. And there's only one common that I can see for Vagabonds Esports. They have been consistently not showing up from the mid game to late game, and that is a little like it has been consistent all throughout the matches, whether it's CPP, FPP. They are not showing up that much, so they're prioritizing on their objectives as well as their positioning before they go in the engagement. And one thing about Vagabond Esports as well is I mentioned earlier, they have plans like plans behind their plans, backup plans after backup plans, just in case they lose one, they will be able to move together as a three-man squad, two-man squad, or a solo. And they have been consistent in that, playing between placement point and kill points were in. And it's ironic because they are consistent but very dynamic as well, unpredictable, I would say. So it's really difficult. Like for me as an analyst, very difficult for me to analyze what Bagfon Sports has been doing because they have been consistently great, but so dynamic, so unpredictable that I cannot read their gameplay.
Agreed, agreed. All right, let's ask also Super Cloud. We saw a little bit of the MVP, and I think you are mostly involved with the MVP because we saw how it was. It was Almighty Prime. They have been phenomenal, and we know for a fact. Thank you so much, production. I like this. This is why I like the production. Team Control, you are amazing. Almighty Chase, Quasi, GB, as well as I'm so sorry, I cannot see the name. I think I'm a
Dre.
little bit the Ray. Yes, the Ray.
Right,
My
yeah.
bad. But we have seen how they have been phenomenal, despite the drama, despite the sensualization of the issue that has been brought from the community. They have been phenomenal. So, Super Clock, you are close to them. What are your thoughts on them becoming the MVP of the game itself?
First, definitely, I'm so proud because of having your own be recognized for a major tournament. That was really crazy. And looking at the numbers that they have, it was really something that you can look forward um, to all of the major future tournaments that they will be joining, especially Chase. That's the reason why a lot of people telling that Chase is doing some magic, doing some miracles, kind of like that, because of the number that he got from that tournament. And it's really crazy because a lot of talks about a lot of hearsay, a lot of speculation that hey, Chase is really doing something really different, which is I completely agree. Um, why he was able to do some um, that kind, or why he was able to manage to rack up 56 points on that one, because he is definitely doing differently from other players, right? So that's the reason why you're not able to somehow um, understand it, the way he get those skills, the way he get those plays being successful, because it's really different. All right, the moment you start being different, that's the moment you will be recognized.
Agreed, agreed. I gotta agree on that because I mean, we as the caster, we also work together with the spectator, right? So definitely, we also see some things that we have seen beyond, and I think Gentleman Gaming also have experienced this for a long time already. And I think, to be honest, all of us has already shown us. Showed up inside every single tournament event, and knowing for a fact there are certain things that we know they have predicted already. The movement of the pro players are way different compared to the normal player, because if you're trying to raise yourself up as a pro player, you have to figure out that some pro players, if for example, sniping. I'm not gonna get involved with all the details that we have seen, the sensualization, but let's just talk about the snipers. Here's the thing why I love about snipers and how I will never be a sniper. I may predict this person, for example, maybe I'm predicting Vagabond's gonna win this, but at the same time, that's just my prediction. As the same as Sniper as well. They can predict your movement, and that's how it is. But people might think it from their own point of view. They say, like, this is probably some magic they're doing. A little bit sus right there, but that's just how it is. If you're a sniper, they gotta have that skills, right? You gotta have those skills to just predict it, and sometimes that prediction 50-50, boom, you get it right, and that's just surprise on your own note. But on the other hand, people might say it's not a surprise, but it's amazing to see how it was very well put out by the team of Almighty Prime to actually face those obstacles, as well as a great, how do I say, tense pressure coming in from the community. I know this is a thing that also we as a caster, we keep on reminding. Gentlemen also always remind on the live screen itself that mindful with your words. Be mindful when you comment, because this is a thing that also affects all the players. And when we as a community wants to come together, we need to respect one another. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I really agree on that. Like at some point, yeah, has been joked around that the winners are not really the players, but also the ones battling it in the comment section. But like it's a very difficult battle to fight because at some point you will have your name in there, you will be posted everywhere, you have everything that everything that you said, and as well as all the repercussions. Like if you do have any repercussions, especially if you're part of a specific group or team as well, like there's a lot of impact right now, not only in the online world but also in personal life. So it's you need to be careful. You need to be careful of your words because, like what I tell my kids, your words come from your mind, and what's in your mind comes from your heart. So that gives you, that gives people a glimpse of what your heart is like. Like where are you? Are you a good person, a bad person? On the way you speak and what the words that you say, but I mean, at some point, some people just talk differently compared to others. But if you try to justify the words that you said with more bad words or more bad comments, then you're just justifying that you're a bad person as well. So, toxicity, let's take it out. I mean, that's why it is called toxic waste, because it's just a waste to be toxic.
I like that. Look at that. Gentleman giving us a really good pun right there. Daddy jokes all the way, my friend. On the other note, now we're done with the Garena Survivor one. That's amazing. Even though we haven't moved on with amazing, great success coming in from all of the players from Garena Survivor. But here's the thing, future is coming up next, and we need to look forward to that. And this is what we're talking about: Garena Survivor season number 2, and the season title or team is Legacy. Now let's talk about that. Super Clark, do you know what legacy means, or can you define what will it be like for Garena Survivor to put out that legacy as a team for this season? Super Clark, take it away.
That's really a big word, actually. Legacy is really part of your history. Is really part of someone's life because you had a great experience into it. And legacy is really hard to build because it really depends on how you create your own legacy. In Garena Survivor, definitely you're building a legacy by winning the championship, by winning the belt, right? But how you were able to build it, how were you able to, become one of the legacies? Is like the Vagabond Esports. They're a legacy right now because they were called as the king of the king in PR. Why? Because they keep on winning. They're being consistent, just like Daddy Gigi. Sorry about that.
It's okay. I mean, I'm used to it. I'm
just
old.
like just like Gigi's telling earlier that they're really being consistent, and sometimes he's really having a hard time to predict their gameplays because the one thing that we keep on seeing from them is like they won't be showing up from the first to mid part of the game, and the moment that they're going to perform is from the latter part of the round. We're in. They got a perfect attachment. They got a perfect loadouts that they have already, and that's the reason why they keep on winning. It's kind of like you are preparing to something bigger, and grabbing the W at the end. That's what makes you being a legacy, because you're kind of like creating your own blueprint, right? You're like, another thing is like, you're one of the, it's kind of like you are a walking Wikipedia. It's like if someone sees you, oh, and there's a lot of words that they can describe on this team, on this person. It's kind of like that.
Wow, I
That was
like
crazy.
that. That was crazy. Oh my God, Super Clock. Boom. I mean, like, that was so in depth. That was so deep a thought to a point that I think that makes sense. That makes sense. I also was a little bit tricky on the side of what the Garena Survivors or what Garena was talking about to put on the team of Legacy. And now we understand why they made the team Legacy. Compared to last season, we saw how Garena Masters, they put the team Redemption. And this is for them
Wow.
to redeem. And we saw how Smart Omega redeemed themselves because they have been waited for so long for that king title, and they got it on that season number 2, and they still maintained back-to-back winner for Garena season number 3. Moving along to Garena Survivor, we were able to see Kings of the Kings were able to really nominate themselves and get that title, that road to themselves, because everybody was talking about who are the kings inside the Battle Royale scene. We have the King of MPs, now we're looking for the Battle Royale, and we had it, which is the Vagabonds esport. Their consistency, their phenomenal gameplay, their performance are just so peculiar. Even our own favorite amazing analysis, Gentleman Gaming, could not figure out how they do inside the
Right.
battlefield. And I also agree. I do agree. I keep on saying, and I'm like, why are they so flawless? They know how to move as one, and they keep on getting together as one. Even we saw how they were in the SMP, as well as during this time of Zero to Hero, this new season, Zero to Hero. They were just phenomenal as one and able to be working together with 4 players maintained even at that last zone. And that's just Vagabond Esport. And maybe this is also another storyline for the Garena Survivor to see if they were able to actually continue their legacy for this season. Now, here's the thing. That's pretty much about the team. Now, let's take a look at the game format for this season, because this is way different than the last season. All right, we check out the this season. It seems that we have 16 teams per bracket, and there's a lot of rules and regulation been put out. 18 rounds, which mean this is actually we have already seen before, which is 6 rounds per day or per overday that we have already also seen during the first season. This is something that we've already accustomed. And the one thing that's also very peculiar and new to the addition of the format is that no more TPP, my friend, is all FPP. Now, Gentleman Gaming,
Wow.
what are your thoughts on this format?
Yeah, I mean, going into the 16 teams, because a lot of players out there, especially for those running scrimmages and tournaments as well, they got used to 25, 24, just to be even from both sides. But the 16 teams is not just a random number. There's a mathematically like equation behind that. We would like to discuss that probably next time. I will draw it out on the board. But we
I like
right
that.
now, like, yeah, I mean, we can deep dive in that on why it is 16, but not right now. But it's more of having a balance between all of the days as well as all of the rounds, so that once you calculate the points, you will have an equal amount of points. And this is not only like when, because I did some review. Say, imagine Green Survivors and also other tournaments for in teams will be jumping into the GIBR. I did a review, and there are like inconsistency on the formats, but when you sum it up, it's pretty much the same. So I think this is one reason why they put it in 16 teams, and that includes the 18 rounds as well, or the 6 rounds per day. For the 6 rounds per day, we got used to 3 rounds, 4 rounds. 6 rounds is more of a matter of marathon endurance,
Right.
as per se. It's more of the endurance of the team, of how long can they sustain their gameplay, their performance, their matches all throughout the whole day. And 6 rounds really will bring us like the title, the survivors in there. And I really love how this is working. But for the FPP mode, like we talked about that earlier, I mentioned that, I pointed that out earlier as well. It's more of the challenge. Apart from the realism in the game, the challenge that has been put into the teams really to weed out or squeeze out who are the best in Battle Royale, because it's more of like having it's good play when it's a good storyline when you have TPP and FPP alternating, but it also brings in a lot of what do you call this, stress to the players. So at least this time we have the challenge and a little bit of consistency in terms of the perspective, and they'll be able to utilize that to their team, so that like the competition will be much in there like much challenging, as well as I would say it's more entertaining, because it's I love how it is that the players are shooting each other from your own perspective and not like a camera from behind. Who brings a camera in the backpack having behind while he's shooting? So it's just realism at that point.
I like that. I really like that. Now, that three questions are already been asked. We hear it from Gentleman Gaming himself. Why is it 16 teams? There's a
Mhm.
reason for it. There's a mathematical reasoning behind it, and I also very intrigued to know it. So hopefully we'll be able to talk about it again with Gentleman Gaming, and maybe he do a live show about it. And here's the reason why, my friend, with his specs and with his scientist code and stuff, and trying to figure
Yeah,
out
you can
like
try that. You
here's the
can
way.
try that. You can
Right,
try
right,
that, dude.
right. Yeah, and
You
definitely
can
know
try
that
that.
that will be amazing to see how Gentleman Gaming unravel the mystery for that 16 numbers of teams. But on the other note, sixth round, I gotta.
Here we go.
Ah! But I gotta agree on that. We've been accustomed with 3 rounds, and I think this is something that we've also seen from the previous last years, from the old season, all series, and this is, I think, something that we have to break out, because if we compare to our standard of survival, or should I say our own tournament, it's a little bit small, a little bit shortened period of time for them to be a grand champion compared to other tournaments that we have seen. They have been making a huge number difference when it compares to their own maps or their own formats. So this is something that Garena is adapting as well, and I think I like this. And it also I also agree that Garena Survivor, it really actually stands out, the irony of the team itself, and gentlemen really pin on the right point right there. But here's the thing, FPP wise, realism. But let's get down to the real, and I'm gonna sip my tea right here with my Call of Duty Mobile new franchise mug. Thank you so much, Watch Party. Yes,
Sana all.
but the tea will only be sipped by me and will not be spilled to the whole entire life, because we don't want to get down to all the sensitive issues. But here's the thing, there are a lot of main violations that has been
Ooh.
discovered throughout
Mhm.
this qualifier, even throughout the qualifiers that we have been put out. And it's a great action coming off from Garena as well as from the community to actually put out and to actually point out those every single violation, and Garena has actually take action on it very quickly. Shout out to them, great job to all the production as well as to all the team management. Paramount Gaming, good job. But on the other note, we want to see that what are the violation that has been put out, and what are the rules and regulation that needs to be very alarmed to all the players that joining in on the Garena Survivor. Superclat, can you just like give a little bit of in-depth on those violations?
All right. As you can see right here, but before we go into this part, I just want to bring a point earlier that it's the reason why it's going to be new to all of us
Mhm.
moving on to the semifinals, because all of the players will be using default skin. All right. So
Ooh.
that to avoid any suspicious movement or suspicion to any team who's, happens to be getting closer to each other, or somehow might be their sibling wars, maybe. It's kind of like that. And that's something that we wanted to avoid. And that's the reason why it's going to be all players should be using default skin. And moving on to our violations right now, the ban list that we have, the M21, EBR, Flesh Wound, and ICR, the legendary ICR that we have. The reason why this two weapons are included, because they're really OPs. They are really
Ooh.
OPs. So that's the reason why we are banning these weapons. One reason definitely is really obvious. We just want to make sure that we will have this, fair game for our semifinals moving on to the finals. And second, we just want to make sure that, all of the players are the best. That's simple it is. All right. That's simple it is. And the bugs that we have as well is kinetic shield bug, mythic ride tech, because for a fact that a lot of pro players and streamers also using this kinetic and mythic, and also the pump class. Actually, I'm that's my main whenever I play BR.
Mm.
I'm a pump class main, and I do know this bog to where you will be seeing on your end that it's going up so fast, but it's not really happening on my end. So it's kind of like that. So you can definitely abuse it, or somehow use it, or I should say, use that as one of your advantages to
Mhm.
get a kill. So that's the
Mhm.
reason why we're including that one in this list for violation. And prohibited devices, definitely we know this already, right?
Mhm.
Phones
Mhm.
larger than 7.5 inches diagonally definitely is not allowed. iPad, tablet, and the emulator.
Agreed. I mean, because here's the thing, guys. I know you know for a fact that it is mobile. Yes, tablets are mobiles. You can bring that anywhere because it's very mobility to go anywhere. But here's the thing. It's called tablet for a reason, my friend. You need to have a mobile device. Mobile device doesn't mean that tablet is also mobile, but tablet is tablet, mobile is mobile, meaning you got to make sure that your mobile is no bigger than your own handphone that you have, which is 7.5 inches. It's pretty much mathematical, and you do you really need to ask Gentleman Gaming to do the all scientists like why the reason that iPads are not allowed? Come on, guys, it is called the Call of Duty Mobile, so please respectful to the name of Call of Duty Mobile. On other notes, right now, here's the thing. This is something that we also want to actually give a little bit of comments, and I also want to ask Superclock to give it as well because though this bugs has already been known, some of it has already been known by us. We actually already see it on the side of Garena, been putting it out as a rule and regulation. But there are some stuff that been put out recently by the site because of the acknowledgement by the society itself. And this is also something that I've read from the streamer as well. Do you agree that maybe from this time on, because of this violation has already been put out, maybe streamers or idols that we saw from the CODM community, maybe they should not be using it despite of whether or not they're playing or not classic or even on reg, because it actually influences all of us, all of the
Right.
community to use it. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, for streamer or content creator side or point of view, that is something that a lot of viewers will might be, um, they might be interested watching them, and that's the reason why a lot of streamers doing it. But I completely understand that. But also, if you're going to create that kind of content, you gotta be responsible enough as well to
Mm-hmm.
have all the viewers, to have all of your followers
Mm-hmm.
that they can definitely report it to the
Mm.
correct platform, which is
Ah.
the reason why we have a Discord family, right? So it's like, yeah, you created that content. Also, include from your content that, hey, we don't need to use it. We don't need to abuse this one. All you have to do is report it and use the correct platform, which is the Discord, so that the Garena or the developer of the Garena will be able to know it right away and do some actions. And that's how we do it. And it's funny because it's part of my job as well. Although it's a different game, but it's part of my job. And we definitely do that. We definitely do
Mm.
that. All you gotta do is let us know, because us developers, us companies, all right, giving this kind of or giving or having a new update, and it's a massive update. Definitely from the patch notes that we are releasing, there's definitely a bug, all right, on that
Mhm.
patch notes. And the
Yeah.
only way for us to resolve that bug is for you to report it, because we won't be able to know that because you guys are playing the game. Though we are the developer, though we are the company itself, right? We also play the game definitely, so that we know some of the, or we will be able to know some of the adjustment that we can do from the gameplay and so on, from the graphics and so on. But at the end of the day, you guys are playing it every single day, so definitely you guys will be able to know what is going on, what is wrong about it, what is the bug that a lot of players can abuse it or not. So the only platform that you can use right now for Call of Duty Mobile is like, head over to the Discord, report it, replicate that error, replicate that bug, so that the developer would be able to understand why you are reporting this one as a bug, right? And
Yeah.
that way we'll be able to make some actions on it. You don't need to somehow, rant and, put a lot of comments, just like Daddy GG telling earlier that, being a
Yeah.
toxic is like a waste, right? You don't need to create a lot of waste to any social media platforms, to any pages that we have, right? It's a waste of time, right?
Actually, I would like to put a timeline, like a story on how that happens, or what the thing, like what are the things that the viewers, the players are or need to expect and needs to do when it comes to these kind of things. So imagine, remember that like when if you're part of the FB group of Garena Call of Duty Mobile, you will get some invites to use the test server. And that usage of test server is not just for content creation, but also to find out a lot, like any bugs, any issues within the game before it gets released. Now, for those of you viewers out there, if you're just playing in there using that test server and just playing, or probably not just playing, just to brag that you are in test server, then don't download it. Let the other peoples who are more into finding out what is wrong within the game before it gets released. That is one thing that you can do. Find out what's wrong. There's a report, like a button in there within the game that you can utilize and put on all the details. You can even attach the pictures, even videos out there, and that is for the test server. Now, couldn't say that once it get past the test server, it's already out, it's already done, it's already cleared. You will be patching that into the actual game. Even with that patch, even with all the review, it will still have a lot of kinks and things, glitches and all. And that is what Super Clark was talking about, wherein you join the Green Academy SMP Esports, join there, get a role, and then look for in the landing zone. Definitely you'll find it in the landing zone. There's a bug report, or a bug channel that you can utilize to provide all those details. By doing that, you're not only providing good insights towards the game, improving the game, also providing good insight into the community, because not a lot of people will be toxic and complaining and saying a lot of stuff about the game. You're helping improve the game that we love, and that is one thing that you need to do when you find a bug. When you find a bug, and um, uh, uh, about that point as well, I think it can be utilized as content by streamers, but you need to set the expectation. Set the expectation that this is an issue, this is a bug, it has been reported already, but I like to let you know so that you will be aware. You will be able to help us report the same bug, test it on your own, and then it will be fixed the moment that we have enough evidence to make that right.
Not
Agreed.
to be a toxic and not to waste the time.
Yeah.
I like it.
Beautiful points coming in from Gentleman Gaming as well as Super Clock. Now, here's the thing that I also want to add on. You don't want, I mean, you have to understand that developers are very, very hardworking. They also do their struggleness to actually update and do a lot of patch notes for the next season. So don't really expect that if you actually report the bug, it will automatically suddenly for the next few hours poof, it will disappear. You gotta give time for the developers to actually fix those stuff, and you need to be patient. Give all the credits that just need to be done to the side of developers, because they're doing their best, man. They're not only just trying to maintain a server, trying to maintain a game, they also want to make sure that they'll be able to catch up with the deadline. Like, there's a lot of things to be done for the next season, and a lot of draws that will be put out that was really beautiful compared to this season, my friend. And I'm like saying that money will be given out even more from my pocket. Oh my god. But on that note, great job from the developers, and great points coming in from Superclock as well as Gentleman Gaming. Now, getting back to the Garena Survivor season number 2. We have seen how it was compared to season number 1. We know how it was for the meta of the season, but for the newer season, a lot of things have changed. Some of the buff, some of the nerfs coming in from each and every single weapon will definitely switch every single player from their own old gameplay to a new gameplay. So let's talk about what are your expectation on the weapon attachments as well as classes that will be picked out for the season number 2. Let's start with you, Gentleman Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited on what's going to happen right now because though there are some updates in there with the additional class, it won't be used. It's not part of the Green Survivor, so that's out of the question. It's more of what has been updated from the first season of Green Survivors. So I have a few notes here. Sorry about that. I have a few notes
Nice.
here. In terms of close quarter combat, I mean, the composition is um, the team composition will still be the same as the previous one. We have smokes, we have rewind, especially the rewind. I mean, how OP it is, especially how it has been sensationalized by other teams. So that is, I would say, one of the meta in this game, the rewind class, and the usage of a combination of smoke and of trap master as well. It's more of having you have a smoke, you have a trap master, you have a smoke bomber wherein you can see within the smokes, and a trap master who can detect them as well. So it's two birds with one stone. So ninja class, it's more of an OG, really an OG. But I'm really I won't be surprised if we see mechanical the mechanic class being
Right.
used because of the increased usage of vehicles within the game, as well as how it has been buffed. So it's a good disruptor really within the game. So I'm really happy about teams mixing it up into the game. Talk about the guns. What one thing I would say is SMGs. Right? SMGs. So Macton, if I'm not mistaken, has been nerfed, but it's still OP. I would say still OP, but in a fair way. And the PPSH. I mean the pash pash. What's it called?
Yeah.
The pash pash. You can sidestep and spray and pray, but lessen the praying because definitely you'll be able to hit. So that's one, and it's like regardless of whether it's in from a loadout or coming from from the ground, just picking it up within the game, and you can still utilize that early game. So don't throw it away. Pash pash really gives you a lot of advantage in those games, and well, so far from M4 and definitely Jack 12, the Jack. Oh my god, I'm hopefully I don't know. Hopefully they ban that in the comment. It's so OP, but it's still dependent on the user. Like what I usually say, it's an OP gun, but if I'm using it, it's not OP anymore. So like the HS, like the HS shotgun, the
Oh.
BY-15. It's such an OP gun in the hands of the well versed. But if I'm the one using it, like hit mark all the way, I don't know. But like Jack really is a weapon of choice. Pretty much that will be a great secondary for anyone. And what I'm looking forward to is like within the Green Survivors too, is the dual sniper composition. The dual sniper composition, whether it's in or on blackout or on isolated, utilizing dual sniper, as mentioned earlier, with the teams who have been winning, especially with the chase in there from Almighty. Usage of the sniper is not just about killing; it's more of information gameplay. So if you remember, and like I won't name, but knowing is half the battle, and that is what the snipers are doing, giving out the
Mm-hmm.
information, knowing the location as well as the rotation of other teams,
Yes.
wherein you will provide like your teammates more insight on how you can rotate, how can you approach this, or back out if needed to. So dual, like a double sniper in there will give you, especially in FPP mode, you only have 180, the one would have another 180, 360 mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you have a 360 camera on you every time.
Agreed, agreed. Look at that. That is a good that's a good point coming in from Gentleman Gaming, and this is something we give even more in-depth reasoning to those who are always suspicious on every single pro player gameplay. It's not magic, guys. It's just how you gotta do on tactical and how you wanna be a pro, you gotta be to act like a to be a pro, you gotta act like a pro. Be very, very visualized as well as knowledgeable in every single step of the way. And that's what we saw on Almighty Prime. We saw how they were very good on scouting the area, despite people saying it's magic, but no. But on the other note, now let's get down to the side of the players or the team itself. So, production, let's take it away to the semi finalist who is able to go in for Garena Survivor season number 2.
Wow.
Wow. All right. Here's the thing. Some of the teams, I mean, we all are very accustomed to all the name itself. And I think Super Club, we got to give credit to Super Club because he always, and I gotta say, every single time I watch his live, he always casts every single tournament. And I think this teams has grown with him. And I pretty much say that this is probably their babies. He's babies. He's already know him for a long time already. So let's give credit to Super Clark. What are your thoughts on all of the names that has already proved in to the side of semifinals Garena Survivor season number 2?
First, I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Second, I'm seeing a comeback from
Mm-hmm.
NRX 420.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Second,
Yeah.
SDPA's Vicious. They're really crazy. They're really crazy. They're really trying to show how vicious they are. All right, in a battlefield, they're really showing how they progress. Because if you know them, playing in a scrimmage and joining also to some of the tournaments, they're really good. But this time, being in the major tournament, they're really trying to show how dangerous they are, how ruthless they are, and that's the reason why they were able to somehow find a slot in our semifinals, right? And Segra Kronos, they are really also having a great progress as well, because the one that I keep on that I'm known from Segra is Segra Poseidon. But right now I'm seeing Kronos and the other group. I'm not seeing any Poseidon right here from Segra. Yep, there you go. And other teams that I am so excited to see how they perform is no other than Armament. They're really good in the battlefield as well. They really know how to read the situation to where they can have an instant decision to where it will be their advantage in winning that gunfight. Same thing with great progress with 13 Esports Magnus. They are really magnifying their performance as well. All right. And they're really progressing, I should say, on their own face. And that's the reason why they are really part of our semifinals. And Nikaea Falcons, I'm a fan, actually. I'm a fan of Nikaea Falcons. They're really consistent in our battlefield, whether it's scrimmage, whether it's a tournament, mini tournament, major tournaments, or this Garena tournament that we have. They are really, really showcasing their skills and talent just to grab the win, or just to be known that hey, we are also professional players right here. And don't
Right.
forget, definitely, it's kind of like it's an issue, or it creates a big issue. If you have an idea, Fasha, Riley Esports, they got a
Mm-hmm.
bigger one, but they already Um, uh, they already got a resolution on it, and yet they're proving themselves that, hey, we are a pro team as well. We can
Mhm.
definitely do, all right. We can do our best, not really, just to show you how great we are, even if we don't have any the well-known team captain, right?
Uh-huh. Mhm.
So it's like, even if we don't have our, the one that you're talking about, the team captain, all right, just, because we're having this kind of inclusion of this tournament because of him. No, we are here right now. Look at us, we are in the semifinals without the one that you are talking about, and we are building a bigger team. That's the message that they're trying to portray right now on these tournament, and I'm so excited on how are they going to end this tournament that we have for Garena Survivors. I'm really excited. Are they going to go ahead and be part of our top 5 or top 10? It's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging for them, but it's going to be really dependent on them, on how they perform, on how they use those kind of toxicity that they are receiving right now into a positive experience, to where they can use that to become a stronger and a pro players as Riley
Yeah.
Esports Unbreakable.
I
Actually, I'd like
like
to.
that.
Oh, sorry, Fasha.
Yeah, no,
I'd
no,
like
it's
to
okay.
put in a few words in there because you really put in a good point, especially with those words that you use. Regardless of how much bashing or toxicity are you getting, as long as you can prove to them that you're still professional enough and you can fight whatever fight you are put into, then it will put you in a different level. Like, imagine if the expectation against you is negative and you go and take that win, so that will be 2 levels up already, compared to when you're in the middle and you take the win, that's only 1 level up. Now if you're already on the top and you took a loss, then that's several levels down. So it's good enough that they can put you down. From their minds, you are least expected to win, least expected to do well, least expected to do anything, as we call the underdogs. And that is why we love the underdogs, because you're here. This is the standard level. You're here. Once you win, you have 1 and 2 levels up already. And that is what we love to see right here. And speaking of loving to see, from the previous season, we only have one team from not coming from the Philippines, from MISG, which is Alibaba Clan Mystic.
Yeah, I
And
like
this
them as
time,
well. Alibaba, they're really
yeah,
good. They're really
def-
good. I kid you not.
definitely. I mean, I love how they improve round after round, day after day. They are putting in the effort as well and doing the homework and improving, like coming in from, say, bottom part or bottom half of the leaderboards, and then later on being in the top 5. That is very difficult to do, especially with how crazy it is in the battlefield. But not only them, we also have ABC Anonymous who will be joining us in here. So this is what we were talking about from GS1. If they do good, you inspire other teams to do well I mean, to do good as well, and hopefully, a lot of encouragement, a lot of inspiration will be coming out of this, especially with the team list that we have earlier. I saw that there are a few names, not too, I would say, well known, but I'm not saying that they're not known. But compared to the other ones, I like to see those underdogs to put in a great fight, especially this time wherein a lot of effort has been put into, so that it will be fair for everyone.
I like that. I like that. Great,
Sweetest
great.
victory.
Mhm.
Great comments coming in from Gentleman as well as Superclad. Now, here's the thing. Let's end our segment right here with every single input that we have already put out to the side of the live with the one and only question. What are your top teams that will be moving in for your side to be building their own legacy? Top 3 teams and your top 3 MVP. It could be a player that you've known from the teams, or you can just shout out maybe this team has their own MVP. So let's give the question first to Gentleman Gaming. Who are your top 3 teams as well as top 3 MVP from that semi finalist list itself?
Hmm. Well, when we talk about legacy, a lot of teams already put in a legacy. I mean, if we legacy, say going back to what we talked about earlier, legacy is more of like you can be rich, you can be famous, you can be popular, but at some point those will be like taken away from you. But having a legacy, that's something that will not be taken away from you. And I would say, even if Vagabonds Esports loses one Korean Survivors or one competition, the legacy that they have will not be taken out. So Vagabonds Esports already has one. NRX 420 as well. They put in. They bring up the battle royale scene to a different level already from the start up until now. Especially now, wherein the OGs will be coming back. So not only with this team that name themselves, but the player as well. So I'm looking forward to them popping off. And one thing I would say is ABC Mystic, going back to this team we're in, they are battling it against crazy. I'm not putting down any of the teams. I know they have a lot of teams who are great as well. But I love that ABC Mystic has been here consistent and also joining in season two, bringing in their brothers in here on like from MYSG as well. And this is one thing that I really love to be on the top three. ABC Mystic, like if not number one, because it makes our community larger, bigger, more enjoyable, more entertaining. It's not just the like how crazy it is the Filipinos are in the gameplay, how it's more of how tactical the other regions are doing in as well. The metas they're putting out in this competition, though the same goes. It's like it's a group of everything when it comes to the PH. But at some point, and I'm a Filipino, guys. I'm pure Filipino. But at some point, having just Filipinos in there, it's I would say the community will not grow that big, like bigger than what we expected, and that's our goal to make this community grow even bigger. And having more regions in there joining this battle royale scene will definitely bring that to fruition.
I like that. I really like that. That's amazing point coming up from the side of Gentleman Gaming. Now, Super Clock, who are your top three teams from the semi-final list?
uh, I just wanted to start with the legacy point of view as well, coming
Mhm.
from Daddy GG. He said a while ago that Vagabonds, if they lost, they have their own legacy already, just like NRX 420.
Hmm.
Why we keep on
Mm.
saying that? Hey, even though they're not winning, we still love NRX 420,
Yep.
right?
Hmm.
They are the ambassador of the plunge, right? If you remember that one,
Yes.
right? They are the ambassador for winning the very first the plunge Philippines NRX 420, and they're coming back already. They're coming back already with the stronger and the OGs players, right? And if they lost again, they still have the legacy. We keep on remembering them, right? That's
Yeah.
the legacy that we're talking about. Now, going on to the top three team that I can pick who might be creating their own legacy. Definitely my top would be Almighty Prime. Love Your
Hmm.
Own. Because I've known how they perform. I've known them, how hungry they are, how thirsty they are, and grabbing that trophy of champion or the belt of champion, the trophy of champion is like that. It's gonna be thirsty for them to really grab that one from the defending champion. All right. The second pick that I have is really SDPA's Vicious. No one really, knows how they perform, how pro they are. But I love SDPA's Vicious because they're really also brutal in the battlefield. Once their gameplay really executed well. And the last one would be AXP. They are also one of the hungry teams who really wanted to somehow taste of that W, a taste of that champion for our tournament. So those are the three top picks that I have.
I like that. I like that. All right. Any last word before we end our segment? interviewing each and every single community, which is Gentleman Gaming as the voice of Garena as well as voice of community. Super clug. Let's start off with Gentleman Gaming. Any last word before we end our segment right here, right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to thank everyone who gave support for their first season of Garena Survivors, and that is one reason why it keeps repeating, because the support that you are putting out in tournaments just like this makes it recurring. It's like a movie, it's like a show. The moment that we get a lot of support, a lot of encouragement, a lot of good feedback, but even bad feedback, wherein we can improve the production, even the gameplay, even the everything else, and that's one reason why a lot of things has changed as well from the previous season, because like improvement over time, like what we keep telling the teams out there, you need to improve over time. If we are still the same as from the first season, going into the second season, it will be boring at some point. So I like to give a big shout out to everyone who gave us support on the first season, and also giving out the support on the second season, because a lot more will be happening. I'm expecting a lot more will be happening, because having a season two and it's a tournament just like Arena Survivors really makes it roll over, and hopefully we will get that as well. Give such love in the COD community on the comment section. Don't be toxic waste. I want to take out the waste. Actually, I have a garbage bag right here. I'll be taking it out later on. So don't be part of that trash in here. But and a lot more. I'm looking forward to how it's going to how the teams has changed already. How will they blow my mind? The players, the viewers, the fans, the casters. How can each team blow our minds with the gameplay, as well as how they show up? Entertainment or probably tactical. It doesn't have to be flair. You just need to be winning gunfights, as well as using your tactics to your advantage within the game, and that will really blow our minds on how did you do that? How did they win? How did they get those gunfights? How did they clutch this? Those questions of how. That's what we are thinking every time that we cast in. Are you going to clutch this? Are you going to give us a great? Are you going to win despite of your position earlier? You have 0 kills start of the game. Mid game, you starting to pop off, and how many kills you got more than those who are doing. So those things, all the questions are already in our minds. It's up to you, the players, to show us. So hopefully, those questions will be answered, as well as I'll ask the teams, give us a great show so that we can give us a great shout. We can give you great shoutcasting as well. So I got a lot of words. You know me, I'm talkative, but I'll end it at that.
we'll, we'll definitely see you more, Gentleman Gaming. But thank you so much on a great ending note for tonight. We also want to give a opportunity for Super also to end the note as well for you. Any last word for tonight's segment?
It has been said already. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just put up all of your best, and for all of the followers that we have for the community, and for all of the followers of each streamers, top streamers, content creators, and pro players, the fans itself. Just show some love and support. Stop being a waste, just like Daddy G. Stop being toxic to everyone else, and just show some understanding on what is definitely going on, and just be adult enough to understand the situation. That's it. That's how you do it. That's how you show some respect to all of the players, some respect to the event organizer, the tournament itself, the team behind the of Garena Survivors too. You gotta show some respect to them, because they put a lot of effort, they put a lot of time, they exerted all of their energy just to put a show, just to put a fair game, a fair tournament to everyone else. So you gotta understand that. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be your choice if you want to become a toxic or not. Just enjoy the game. Garena Survivors 2.
Nicely done. Thank you again to Gentleman Gaming as well as Superclock. You guys did a great, wonderful job giving a lot of input, a lot of in depth. What will be expecting on the Garena Survivor season number 2, and I even lost my voice. Like, gotta sip more tea, more. Give me more pee, please. Arena Call of Duty Mobile. Thank you very much.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I
Just
want the
plugging out the
jacket. I
merch.
want the jacket. I really
Oh
love the
yeah.
jacket. I like
I
that.
I got the hat as well as the mug. That's all I got. It's okay.
Wow. All
I'm
right.
Oh.
just
All right.
happy. I'm
All
just
right.
happy. Oh wait, I do. I got the shirt as well. The Garena Call of Duty Mobile shirt as well. Okay, got
Wow.
3. But I don't.
Oh.
Woo.
But what I'm so sad, I didn't get the pass. I see you guys got the Garena Master VIP pass or Caster pass. Like, oh, that would be super awesome. I even saw someone actually auction off their own passes. I'm like, what?
What?
Hello, it's a memento, please. But anyway, that's something that we will talk behind the scene, my friend. But on the other note, thank you again, Super Clock as well as Gentleman Gaming. Thank you so much for joining in for this segment. Truly a great in-depth, great conversation as well as eye opener for the Garena Survivor season number 2. Please keep on supporting these two amazing casters. Go check out their Facebook page, Super Clock as well as Gentleman Gaming. I'll see you guys again next time. Thank you again. So we'll move on to the next segment, okay? Thank you again, guys. I'm alone. I'm alone again. No, I'm alone. No, not yet, guys. I'm not done with my job because I still have one more guest to be interviewed right here on this segment. I couldn't get the two teams, the two top teams inside the last season Garena Survivor, but it's okay. I got the second runner-up, the runner-up of the Garena Survivor here to represent his team. Who can it be? It is the almighty Prime, and Quasi will be the one to represent his team. Let's shout out to Quasi to give it up for tonight's event. Hello, Quasi. Woo! Wow,
Hello,
so big.
Fasya.
Hello. Hello, Quasi. Can you be a little bit louder because your mic is a little bit softer? Is it okay? Can you?
Hello, hello.
Oh, all right. I think I can hear you. Awesome. All right, Quasi. How are you? Hope you're doing
Uh,
well.
I'm fine. How about you?
I was scared a little bit. Because sometimes when I do an interview, people might not understand my English, so I try to do it properly. Okay, I try to speak very slowly. But if you don't understand me, just say mahal kita. Okay. Oh, no, 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 no. Congratulations again on a great achievement on the Garena Survivors. You guys did phenomenal despite the drama, despite the pressure as well as obstacle. It was so huge for you guys, but you guys pulled it through and became the top leaders inside the Garena Survivors. What are your thoughts on that? Can you talk about it?
Mm, it was difficult for the team because it's the first time we experienced such a thing.
Mm-hmm.
We were so upset such things happen, but we keep reminding one another to control our emotions
Oh,
and focus on the game. Let's let's our let's let our result to be to the do the talking. We are very grateful to the people who showed their concern to us, and their belief in us also help us to overcome the situation.
understood. Yeah, because it was really tough for you guys, and there was a lot of negativity coming towards the site, even during the second day as well. That even the comments was just bashing off on you, and I think that was something that you guys weren't really expecting for your end. So, for this next season, this upcoming season, what have you guys prepared for any kind of obstacle that will be coming towards your end?
Um, for our preparation, we commit ourselves to daily scrimmages, starting to 4 a.m. to 12 a.m. and we take part in as many community tournament as possible. And we meet the we meet the team to review our games and hang out in person to build our chemistry. We also seek guidance from our management to improve ourselves as a person. And we met with a couple of CODM competitive seniors to learn from their experience as well. And shoutouts to Daddy Blink.
Wow, that is super awesome. Working together. I mean, this is what we're talking about community. We're not actually against each other. We're working together. Despite maybe on the battlefield you guys are enemy, but off field you guys work together to build a great community and be a great pro player with each other. You don't actually go as a great player as only as one person, not just as individual, but as the whole community. And what are your thoughts on that? Like, how do you actually uh, build a great community so that everybody can become a pro player just like you guys?
Mm,
Because
wait.
the experience that you had with Daddy Blink, right? Like, how was it like when you met him?
Um, he's the one who, ano, he's my inspiration. That's why I'm here. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I'm here in the pro scene. He's my
Oh.
number one idol.
Wow. And then that if somebody say to you that Quasi, you are my idol, what would you say to them?
Mm, just just keep on grinding. Just
It's okay. Say yeah.
yeah. Can I speak Tagalog?
Yeah, yeah, no, no problem at all. No problem. Just say Tagalog is fine.
Yeah, pagka gano'n, gusto ko sabihin sa kanya na ano, na kung masaya ka sa ginagawa mo, gawin mo lang, kung 'wag mong pansinin yung mga nangba-bash or yung mga negative comments na na nadadama ay nakikita mo. Kung alam mo talagang may ano ka, kung alam mo kung alam mo talagang passion mo yung ginagawa mo, bakit mo sila papansinin, eh, masaya ka dun sa ginagawa mo, 'di ba? Ayun.
I mean, I know that I'm not a Filipino, but I kind of felt that emotion though. I do. I understand those. There's certain words that I understand, and I really like that. I really like that advice coming in from Quasi itself, one of the phenomenal as well as very known already. Everybody has already seen how you have been doing the achievement that the Almighty Prime has done inside the scene of Battle Royale. Now, the second question I want to ask as well, what do you expect will be happening inside this tournament? Because there's a lot of bans, a lot of regulations. So, what are your thoughts on that, and what do you expect will happen?
The battles are definitely going to be tough, as we are definitely going to be tough as we are playing against so many talented players.
Mhm.
The FPB only mode has challenges in a new way, as we often play in a third person perspective. Even so, we will do still our best, and I'm also going to expect real tests to our mental strength and ability to focus. This going to be 6 rounds full intense fight with some of the best teams in Malaysia, Singapore, and Philippines.
Nice. Okay, just a slight bonus question. Just a simple question. Do you actually like FPP?
It's hard. It's hard for us because we are playing TPP, and
You uh-huh.
uh it's it's challenge for us.
But you do you like it or not? That's just a question. Just a question. Don't worry, just a personal opinion. Do you like it or you're like, I prefer TPP?
Little, a
Little, little.
little,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I like that. That means that you have a versatility to actually don't mind playing FPP or TPP. Good job. Nice. I like that. This is how you want to be a pro player. If you want to be a pro player, you got to actually be very open to play whether TPP or FPP. And Quasi is showing that. Now, this is the last question for Quasi himself. What are your hopes on Garena Survivor 2? I know this is going to be cringy, but let's be as cringy and as hopeful as possible for the almighty Prime. Quasi, take it away.
I hope, I hope we get the championship, and I hope to engage exciting game fights with the teams and on the battlefield, and also that our family, friends, and keep supporting us regardless of the result. And we still do our we still do our best to make you all proud.
Oh, look at that. That's not cringy. That's very loving and hopeful. I like that. Thank you so much, Almighty Farm Quasi. Great job, and hopefully you guys will do even more better job inside this season. I'm gonna do all the best. I'm rooting for you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Okay? Thank you again, guys. Bye bye, Quasi.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So this is the end, the wrapping of the segment itself. Thank you again to the Gentleman Gaming as well as Super Clock for taking them time to actually explain what the Garena Survivors season number 2 legacy is all about. And to Quasi as well, the one and only Almighty Prime, our top leaders inside the Garena season number 1. And I gotta say, it's great. It's very enlightening to hear from his point of view because we didn't get to hear their point of view. And this is the public listening to their side. And even Gentleman Gaming as well as Superclock giving you guys a heads up like, come on, guys, stop the toxic city because the fact is, it's a waste of time. Don't let Gentleman Gaming suddenly put you in his own basket and throw you into the toxic bin, my friend. But on that other note, I am FasyaBunn Streaming page. Garena Survivor Season number 2 Legacy will be starting tomorrow at 6 p.m. So check out Paramount Gaming Esport for more details. A lot of updates will be put it out on the social media, whether or not it is on the Facebook as well as on the Discord channel. So please follow. It's not so hard, guys. Just follow the page. Give support to the Paramount Gaming Esport for doing a lot of great job to make a great event, which is the Garena Survivor Season number 2 Legacy. We also want to shout out to the Garena Call of Duty Mobile. If you guys want to check out what we helping on semifinals, just go into the CODM Facebook, just follow their pages. I don't know why you're not still following them because most of the lives will be going there on their channels, whether on Facebook or YouTube. So please check them out. Good luck to all the semifinals, Garena Survivor Season number 2. And hopefully, we'll see a new king, or will the legacy continue? Now, that's something that we'll be finding out on the Garena Survivor Season number 2, guys. I am FasyaBunn. Thank you again to the Paramount Gaming. I'll see you guys again next time. Assalamualaikum. Have a great night, guys.